He sold out stadiums from London to Sydney. He starred in some of the biggest blockbuster movies of the last decade. He's built a global media empire from the ground up. This is Kevin Hart, the undisputed king of comedy. But how did a 5'2" kid from the tough streets of North Philadelphia become one of the most recognizable and successful entertainers on the planet? This isn't just a story about jokes. It's a masterclass in hustle, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of a dream. Get ready, because we're about to uncover the incredible true story of how Kevin Hart conquered the world. To understand the man, you have to understand where he came from. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A city known for its grit, its history, and its no-nonsense attitude. Kevin grew up in a single-parent household, raised by his incredible mother, Nancy Hart. His father, Henry Witherspoon, battled addiction and was in and out of his life. A painful reality that Kevin would later turn into some of his most honest and hilarious material. Life wasn't easy. Money was tight, and the streets presented temptations at every corner. But Nancy was a rock. She worked tirelessly at the University of Pennsylvania and instilled in her sons a powerful work ethic and an unwavering belief in themselves. In this challenging environment, young Kevin discovered a superpower: humor. He found that making people laugh was a way to connect, a way to diffuse tension, and a way to navigate the difficulties of his childhood. He was the class clown, the life of the party, the kid who could turn a bad day around with a quick joke. Laughter became his shield and his sword. It was his escape. After graduating high school, he briefly attended community college and worked as a shoe salesman. But the stage was calling. He knew his real passion was comedy, and he decided to take the leap. He started his journey under the stage name Lil Kev, performing at local Philly clubs like the Laugh House. And let me tell you, it was not an instant success, not even close. He tried to imitate other popular comedians of the time, like Chris Tucker, but it just wasn't authentic. The crowds were brutal. He was booed off stage. He had chicken wings thrown at him. More than once. Many people would have quit right then and there. They would have packed it in and gone back to selling shoes. But not Kevin Hart. This is where the legend of his work ethic was forged. Instead of giving up, he doubled down. He realized he needed to find his own voice. He studied the greats, people like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and Jerry Seinfeld. He drove to New York City every chance he got, performing in any club that would give him a microphone, sometimes to just a handful of people. He was relentless. He treated comedy like a sport, spending thousands of hours honing his craft, writing, rewriting, and performing. He learned that the most powerful comedy comes from truth. So he started talking about his own life, his fears, his insecurities about his height, his family struggles, his relationships. He started being himself, and that's when everything changed. The audience started to connect. They saw themselves in his stories. They weren't just laughing at jokes. They were laughing with him at the shared absurdities of life. His 2009 special, I'm a Grown Little Man, was the turning point. It was raw, it was honest, and it was hilarious. This was the real Kevin Hart, and America was ready for him. What followed was a comedic avalanche. His 2011 special, Laugh at My Pain, was a cultural phenomenon. He didn't just film it in a club. He rented out the Nokia Theater in Los Angeles. The special was based on a tour that grossed over $15 million, making it one of the most successful comedy tours of the year. He took his deepest personal pains, his father's addiction, his mother's passing, his own failed marriage, and transformed them into comedic gold. It was a bold, vulnerable, and groundbreaking move that cemented his status as a comedy superstar. Then came Let Me Explain in 2013, which he filmed at a sold-out Madison Square Garden. And what now? In 2016, filmed in front of 53,000 people at Philadelphia's Lincoln Financial Field, making him the first comedian to ever headline and sell out an NFL stadium. Each special was bigger, bolder, and more ambitious than the last. He wasn't just a comedian anymore. He was a rock star. He understood branding and marketing better than anyone. He used social media to connect directly with his fans, building a massive, loyal following long before it was the standard. He was creating a movement. But Kevin's ambition didn't stop at the stand-up stage. He had his sights set on Hollywood. He'd had small roles in films earlier in his career, but now, with his massive star power, he was ready to be the leading man. He proved to be a box office powerhouse. The Ride Along franchise with Ice Cube grossed hundreds of millions of dollars. He formed an unforgettable comedic duo with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in blockbusters like Central Intelligence and the wildly successful Jumanji reboots. His formula was simple but effective: high energy, relatable characters, and an incredible chemistry with his co-stars. He wasn't just playing a part. He was being Kevin Hart, and audiences couldn't get enough. He became one of the most bankable stars in Hollywood, consistently delivering hit after hit. He proved that a comedian could not only cross over into movies but dominate the box office. With Hollywood conquered, what was next? Building an empire. In 2017, he launched the Laugh Out Loud Network, a multi-platform media company dedicated to comedy. It was a brilliant move, giving him ownership and control over his content and providing a platform for emerging comedic talent. He wasn't just in the business of being Kevin Hart anymore. He was in the business of comedy itself. His business portfolio expanded into production with Heartbeat Productions, a venture capital firm, a tequila brand, and even a chain of plant-based fast food restaurants. He became a staple on Forbes' list of highest-paid entertainers. His lifestyle reflects this incredible success. We see the private jets, the luxury cars, the stunning mansions. But what you also see is the discipline that got him there. He wakes up before dawn for grueling workouts, a philosophy he calls hustle heart. His social media isn't just about the glamorous life. It's about motivating his millions of followers to chase their own goals with the same relentless energy. He's built a brand that's synonymous with motivation, positivity, and an unbreakable work ethic. Of course, the journey hasn't been without its bumps. He has faced public controversies and a near-fatal car accident in 2019 that required months of grueling physical therapy. But in true Kevin Hart fashion, he faced these challenges head-on, with honesty and a determination to come back stronger. He even turned his recovery into material, sharing his journey and inspiring others with his resilience. From the tough streets of North Philly to selling out stadiums worldwide. From being booed off stage to becoming a global box office king. Kevin Hart's story is the ultimate testament to the power of self-belief, hard work, and the courage to be yourself. He didn't just find his voice. He projected it to every corner of the globe. He took his pain and turned it into power, his struggles into strength, and his life into a masterclass of comedy. He is more than a comedian. He is a mogul, a motivator, and a true global phenomenon who has redefined what's possible. Thanks for watching. If you were inspired by Kevin's story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible stories about the world's most fascinating people. See you next time.